What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chasing the Hook podcast.
Uh,
Today on the podcast, we got brother Justin Sullivan out of local 433 LA. What's up, Justin? How you doing, brother?
oh man, all is well, man. All is well. Beautiful day today, man.
I
It's
know.
right here in the Pacific Northwest. This has been nice this last week. It's been real
I
nice.
know. We're pretty blessed this week, bro.
Uh,
So yeah, man, with that being said, dude, so let's kind of get in the podcast. So go ahead, just give us a brief bio and just tell us where you're from, what local you're out of, what's your book number, and how you got into ironwork, Justin.
yeah, my name is Justin Sullivan. I'm out of local 433, book number 1522174. I've been a journeyman now for a little over 2 years. And I got into the trade from my dad, man. I'm a generational iron worker. My dad got me into the trade right after I came out of prison at uh, at 26 years old. I didn't even know what iron working was, man. I That's the crazy part is I don't even know how my dad kind of like hit it from at least me. I think my older brothers they knew what he did, but at least me, I knew he was in construction. I didn't know to what extent this like was, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like with that being said, though, like growing up, did you see your old man obviously coming home working on some of those high rises in LA and coming home tired and all the shit that iron workers do?
All right. Well, so I should have mentioned this in the beginning. Is that so? I started in local 155 Fresno. That's where I got into the ironworkers, and that's where my family is at. Is local
Okay.
155. I actually transferred into 433 close to like my first year in. Like I had probably about a year in, and then I was able to transfer. But yeah, so my family's in Fresno, where it's a mixed local, and so my dad actually is he did structural and he did rebar, but I think he more well, nah, my dad leads more to structural, but my grandpa leads more towards rebar. So
Damn.
my
So
dad's dad.
your grandpa was in he was in the ironworkers too, huh?
Yeah, yeah, Buford. That's my dad's dad, Buford Lowe. Man, it's crazy. Like when I first went to the ironworkers, I got to see his name on the plaques. You know what I mean? Going into 155 Hall, my dad. It's crazy how much stuff I kind of let kind of fly over my head when I first got in and realized like, man, my like I'm honored now that like that's where my family's at, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
yeah, my dad tells me all the time about when his dad was, and I don't know how true this is. I think my dad can stretch the truth sometimes, but he be telling me, he says, my dad was an apprentice running the Pine Flat Dam, like, you know, and there's a big old dam in Fresno. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've kind of been like, well, I know I've seen my dad's stories kind of drift a little bit. So I'm just gonna let him live with that, you know what I mean? But if someone does catch that, and knows some if that's true or not, that'd be cool to find out. I
Hell
never
yeah,
dug into
brother. So like you said you got out of prison, Justin, and then decided to get into the ironworkers, man. Was that like your first was that like did you know that you were gonna get into the ironworkers once you got out, or was it just something that you kind of just, you know what, you were looking for other things to do and just finally said, hell with it, I'm gonna go get in the ironworkers?
Yeah, it's just like that, man. I didn't know I was gonna be an iron worker. I came out at 26 years old, and my first job was you ever seen those bell ringers? That ding ding ding, that Salvation Army. That was my first job, bro. Like I
Yeah,
coming out of prison, that was my
yeah.
first job, and it was a great job, bro. But that I had to speak on that later on my time. Yeah, I was doing bell ringing, dishwashing. I worked at Wingstop. You know, I did a couple little things that were definitely not cutting it.
Yeah.
Nah, they weren't cutting it.
And so then you obviously got into the ironworkers. Obviously, I mean, most people would say that's probably the best decision in your life. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that I mean, it is incredible the direction that my life took. I mean, immediately, I remember my first check, and
You're doing some odds and end jobs. You said you worked ringing bells for the Salvation Army, doing some
uh,
dishwashing and stuff like that. Then you got in the ironworkers. What made you decide to go down to the hall, man, and sign up?
I was broke, man. I was asking my dad for money all the time. You know what I mean? I was always like I had hit my dad up for something. And yeah, this was right when I was barely getting out of my feet. And I just, my dad, he was there. He wanted to help me get on my feet. And I just remember like he was talking shit. He was like, ah, just come on, let's go. I'm gonna take you down to the ironworkers. And I was like, what? Like I remember when we walked into 155, the lady name was Sandy, and they instantly knew I knew that they knew my dad. And I just remember the lady saying, like, oh, is he gonna be a solar hand? And I was all like, and I didn't know what they was talking about. She was talking smack. She was like, oh, is he gonna be a solar hand? And there ain't no men don't want to be iron workers no more and all this. And I just remember that being the case going into 155 hall. But I was broke, bro, and it just instantly changed everything. Like, I
So
think go ahead.
So I didn't mean to cut you off there, Justin. So I was going to lead me into like your apprenticeship. So obviously you got into the apprenticeship, man. What was that first job like for you?
Oh, okay. So my first job was rebar, and I was working on the California high speed rail. That I don't know. I think that thing is. I don't know if it's ever going to get finished, but it was rebar for Martinez Steel, and oh, bro, that was, man. I can't. I still can't believe, like, it was rough. I remember it was rough. We were running in number 11s into, like, number like 40-foot number 11s into those cages, you know what I mean? That with
Yep.
the
Case
bullet.
arms. Yep.
Yeah, you'd have a bullet on the end and it's just
Yep.
sliding over all the rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, bro, it was tough, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this, because it was midsummer in Fresno, 110, and you know, that shit was hard, bro. I just remember my arms locking up on me. I remember like having to. My dad. Well, this is about me and my dad closer than we've ever been. Was when I first started ironwork, and he had known everything I was going through, and just started giving me the tips. And here's the secret, man: pickle juice, bro, for cramps. You know about that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's better
Yeah.
than bananas.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, bro, pickle juice is like instant. It's
Yep.
instant. It's instant. I mean, instant relief. But yeah, I mean, just cramps, like swollen fingers. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just the pains that come with it, bro. So I was in rebar for my first couple months. But first job was on the yard, rebar yard, and Martinez Steel, bro, and they were vicious out there. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, but I see. Here's where I feel like God's timing is perfect in my life, bro. Is because uh I was in major shape, bro. I came out of prison, like, what I'm saying. I wasn't smoking cigarettes in there. I was healthy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I did 5.5 years. So I came out, bro, at 26, just doing 5.5 years. I was the healthiest motherfucker on the site. Oh, my bad. My
Oh no, you're good. You're good,
is
bro.
it Gus?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was the healthiest person on the site, man. And you know what I'm saying? I think it really showed, bro, because I was really working out in prison. And shit, I remember my thought just walking on the job. I was just sitting there like it was hard work, but I was like, dang, they gonna pay me to work out? Like, let's go, you know what I mean? Like, let's go. And I was getting paid $17 an hour, which was fat for an apprentice, bro. I was, man, wait.
Hell
Then they
yeah.
told me about married at 9 and it was over.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. So,
uh,
like with that being said, Justin, so like, busting rods, man, that's obviously that is probably the hardest work. I'm not gonna say it's the absolute hardest work in the trade, but it's up there, man. And like you said, you figured out like, being in shape obviously is very beneficial to everybody to be in shape to go do any type of iron work, but especially being in shape, you have to there's work shape too, right? So you weren't just gonna go out there and just kill it. But obviously, you had an advantage over most people that you see nowadays, man. I hate to say it. Now, some of these cats are so out of shape, bro. It's crazy, man. But with that being said, Justin, what made you keep going, brother? Because nowadays, I mean, I don't want to say this, but we see a lot of people who just give up, man. And yeah, it's hard, dude. But what made you decide to keep going? What was your mindset in those days?
Man, I can't believe these dudes gonna give me this much money to work out. You know what I mean? Because I was already on that level, man. I was all like I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the gym for 8 hours a day, and was loving it. The first paycheck, I was convinced like this is exactly where I need to be. Then we started getting raises. Oh man, it just
Yeah.
kept getting better and better and better. Like I can't. I mean, completely the money kept me, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
money kept me through the hard work. Like, you know what I'm saying? The bills, bro, the bills was like,
Yeah.
I got into such a new financial like area in life, bro. I just really, I mean, shit, I could do the work, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
You weren't gonna quit no matter what.
yeah, I mean, bro, I think
I
the
mean, yeah.
physical challenge is the most difficult part for some people to really commit to, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And wanting the money, but bro, it came to me just on the level of fitness that I was, bro, I'm running 5Ks, you know what I mean? Like the level of fitness that I was on, bro. I was like, and I wanted to maintain it. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
built for this.
Oh
And
yeah.
you're paying me fat. So it was gonna be hard to get to scare, bro. Oh yeah, I'll tell you that. Well, that was one of my first experiences was so I forgot his name. I wish I remembered his name, but what's it called? I go up on the site, bro, and I got my tools and shit. And my dad barely had taught me how to do a couple ties. But I
Yeah.
remember walking on and getting sent to this crew, and they were doing the bigger, like 8 foot round columns, you know what I'm saying? Huge.
Yep.
They were doing the huge columns and stuff. And he, you know what I'm saying, that oh, this is his first day. This is my first day, right? And I'm there. And I just remember one of my foremen said something like he was trying to be like to test me. You know, he was trying to test me. He
Yep.
said something about like, "Oh yeah, have you ever been to prison?" Or you know, something like this. And I was like, "Yeah, but I just got out." Like, you know what I mean? And like I just got out,
Yeah.
but I just did 5.5. Like, and I knew that he wasn't expecting that. And but yeah, instantly, bro. Like soon as he kind of felt that, like, yeah, I wasn't I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
I just
You weren't
I
that guy. Yeah.
I fit here, bro. Like I
Yeah.
fit here. You wasn't gonna like, test me on some nonsense. Like I fit here, and they just received me, bro. They seen that I was a hustler, bro, and they taught me stuff, and we really held on. But uh, man, I really wish that I could have like, look back to that foreman, bro, and like just check in with him, man, and
Yeah.
kind of like, show who I am today, because I have came light years and distances on who I was when I first came in, like on knowledge and just a whole lot. I get it. Like I get the
Yeah.
ironwork now. I didn't get it back then.
Hell yeah, bro. So is that like right after that, Justin? Is that when you found yourself transferring into 433, or did you kind of stay hang out in Fresno for a little bit longer?
Oh yeah, I stayed in Fresno for a while. So that was my first job. I did rebar for like 2 3 months. Um, but it heads with my GF a couple times, just on some like my dad was so in my ear about, hey son, they're gonna be trying to send you, far places with no sub. Make sure you check that stuff. You know what I mean? These rebar companies are ratty, like he would tell
Yeah.
me. And so I remember getting into my GF and one time, and then he ran me off. And so that was my chance to start like hustling work. And like I know in Seattle, you can't hustle work. Like the apprentices, they're not allowed to go solicit their own work. But in California, we can. And
Yeah.
so when I was out of work, bro, I just remember going to the main structural outfit of Fresno that gets a lot of their like schools and stuff, and it's mid state or
Yeah.
O'Brien.
Yeah.
And
Mid-state. Yep.
yeah, bro. So I hit up that company, and um, you know, he ends up pulling me on, bro. And like then I get my first structural job, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had, because it was in a hotel, like probably like 2 hours away, 3 hours away, like just kind of hitting full sub zone. And
Yeah.
just I was out of town with a great group of with the Raisin Gang, and like I don't know, their crew's kind of like Raisin Gang, Bolt Up, Plum Up, you know what I mean? They do everything, they might have, and they'll call out a welder or two, once, and that's it. And that's that job. And damn, bro, like being that was you could really learn a lot, bro. Like if I was brand new apprentice, man, like started right there, first thing, leveling the anchor bolts, you know what I mean? Coming to the job and you know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, wow, bro, getting to learn everything. Yeah, I think it was one of the best like ways to start my structural side of my career. I don't think you could have done any better than that. I had a thorough look at everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From that.
Yeah, I've worked for Mid-State Steel before, man, and they're kind of a small little outfit. Or at least when they came up to Oregon, when they worked in the Portland area, it was just like you said, it was just a small gang. So the connectors would go bolt up, then they would go throw deck. So it was just these small gangs, and so like I found myself working for them in Portland and stuff, and so like they would just take me, man, and they would just have these little 2-story jobs all over Portland and stuff. So I always enjoyed working for Mid-State because, like you said, I did learn a lot from those guys. Like,
Any did any one of those guys come out of 155 or was
yeah,
it the other
I
was it
forgot
the
what the
other member
foreman's
that
name because, like, Rob Semino used to run with the guy that owns CBI. He came from Mid-State Steel in Fresno, and I forgot the guy that he had GFing for him, like Todd Lolliman. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Alex Lolliman. They're from 155 down in Fresno. But those guys, I worked with them quite a bit up here in Portland, but they worked for Mid-State in California, then came up and worked for CBI, Columbia Bridge and Iron up here in Oregon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it was a good little learning experience, like you said, man. I got to connect there. I got to bolt up because it wasn't a bunch of journeymen. It wasn't this huge job where you're just being the bitch. You know what I mean? You're being the fucking like cleaning up garbage, dude. Who fucking that fucking sucks, right? You know what I mean? I want to fucking work, but you know, obviously you got to work your way. But on those smaller jobs, you're able to get to work faster than a big job, right?
Oh yeah, heck yeah. That's where it's at. As an
Yeah.
apprentice, bro, I think I would have definitely had a whole different mindset if I would have first started on a big job, like where you are this gang's bitch, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
are this, hey, you the welding punk, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yep.
Like you don't get to go mess with the gang and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't get to go do other
You're
stuff. That's
packing lead all day. Fuck that.
yeah, or I can't imagine being stuck in rebar for this whole time. Holy smokes.
Yeah,
That
man.
would
But
suck.
so did you start connecting right off the bat, Justin? When you because you, I mean, you came into the hall not too long ago, and you're obvious. You got that perfect size for a connector, dude. You got that connector frame, man. So did you find yourself obviously wanting to go do that right off the bat?
Yeah, yeah, man. You know what? I wanted to be a connector out the gate, bro. Like, so once I actually knew what a connector was, I knew I wanted to be a connector because the lady at the hall, Sandy, bro, she had mentioned it. She was like, yeah, nobody wants to be a connector no more, and this and this that. And so, like, when I seen that conversation happen between Sandy and my dad, I was like, that's what I want to be. You know what I mean? Like, sign me up. Like, and that's just who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I pursued that, and so I had actually I got this is how I knew that this is what I wanted to do before I went to 433 is I'm working a job in Soledad, California. It's it's what's it called? It's like borderline. I don't know. I forget what local is. I don't know if it's still our local, if it's like borderline 155, or if it goes into
118 or
376.
something?
No,
Or
I think it's 378 or so, or one of those in the bay.
377?
Yeah, I think it might be at the border of ours and theirs. But I was working
Okay.
this job, but I'm working this job for Soledad for Mid State. I'm working the job for Mid State in Soledad, and I remember one of the connectors. We're in hotels, and one of the connectors didn't show up or something, and I got my chance to work for my buddy Trey to go hang, and like this my first full day. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you the connector today, and
Oh yeah.
absolutely loved it, killed it. You know what I mean? Like it was like it was towards the end of the job, so the pace wasn't bad to learn. You know what I mean? And
Did
yeah,
you
I
get to
think from
connect the
that
next
point,
day, or did your partner come back? Did he come back and take your spot, or did they let you stay?
no, I kept connecting.
Yeah.
I kept connecting. I ended up like finishing out this job, and that like oh man, it's crazy. I thought this story would always be so fresh to me. You know what I mean? Like I can't believe now I have so many like jobs and things that I have to remember that it's like everything. I remember I used to tell this story all the time. Like I used to know real well on how I first started, but yeah, I know that I ended up connecting more and more on that job, and um, like it got way out of hand. That job was and it was the job, bro. Like we didn't have to tie off. That was when that was
Yeah.
it was an actual job where they didn't even care if we went up there with harnesses,
Yep.
like at the roof. And I was like, so it was wild for me to be able to start on that job. But I remember having the phone from the crane hanging on my neck. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it was bad. They couldn't man it, bro. Like there was some issue with manning up that job for some reason.
Yeah.
Um,
So like when you started connecting, Justin, what did you find was like was there a particular aspect of connecting that you found hard right off the bat? Like was there something
uh,
like, you know what I mean? What was
yeah.
something that you found difficult about it?
Um, Getting along with my coworkers, man. That was one of the hardest things, bro. Like, when this is like in 433, like now I'm hanging iron, bro, and I'm chasing the hook,
Yeah.
and I'm confident about myself. And one of the hardest things was, um, you know, humbling myself. You know what I'm saying? Like hearing my journeyman out. You know what I'm saying? I should. I don't know why. I don't know what happens to people as soon as you start hanging iron, bro. You know everything. You can do anything. Like, you know what I mean? And that was me. And I remember so many times like fighting with my coworkers, bro, like getting into like verbal arguments, whether it's the whoo, bro, the phone man, that'd be the guy, bro. That'd be the one that would
Yeah.
get me. Like, I'd probably button heads with the phone man more than any other like position, bro. Like I'm usually super tight with my partner, like with my
Why the
connecting
phone
partner.
man, Justin? What's the like just obviously not putting it where you need it or what is it?
Man, so it's different things and different reasons for different phone man, but I
Yeah.
know I know my I know that sometimes they be speaking so low, it's almost as if they're not like really want me to hear what they're saying. And I like to hear my phone man
Yeah.
because I can, you know what I mean? I can always adjust. Like I'm always alert and always aware of what's going on. And then so when I got a phone man that's like actually, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't talk with the mic super close, but he talks, enunciates this clearly and all this, but is loud enough or he's close enough to us that I can hear him. You know what I mean? He'd be on the other side. Like I just a phone man phoning from like 3 floors down. You know what I mean? Like some stuff,
Yeah.
I've came to the point where this shit is dangerous, and I like the person that's gonna put themselves the most helpful, like for the job, but safe for me. You know what I mean? And so I prefer to have my phone man fairly close to us. You know what I mean? Like maybe 1 floor down. You know, he could be on the iron or something. You know what I mean? Or up on the floor with us. You know what I mean? But yeah. But I've had just a bit bad instances where phone men are trying to phone from a bad spot where they can't even see the boom. They
Yeah.
can't like or looking through 3 tiers of iron when they could just throw a harness on and come up there or just stuff like that. But
Oh yeah.
I don't back down. You know what I mean? I don't back down. Like if I say something, like I look in the eyes, bro, like and I'll mean it. You know what I mean? And I don't ever open that door to play with people, bro, where it could be misunderstood. I just don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to know. I need people at work to be aware of work, man, because there's too many close calls
Yeah,
to
you
be.
can't be fucking around like that. And I get 100% what you're saying there, man. Like being on a job, a story job at least, and fucking the phone man is 3 floors down. Like, how the fuck can you see anything that's happening? You know what I mean? That I never
Yeah.
understood that. Like, or like you said, Justin fucking don't want to put a harness on because you don't want to wear your. It's like who fucking cares, man? Fucking get on the iron. You're a fucking iron worker. So I never got that shit other than they're just being lazy fucks, right? That's the only thing I could come
Yeah.
that was the only thing I could get to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll say it like this. It's not that like, and sometimes certain things may not bother me, but it's the one thing as like that's the position that I got into it the most, just because that like
Yeah.
I'm depending on you the most. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
like I'm
Yep.
depending on you the most, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like I need you to make sure your batteries is right, your phone cable's right, because I'm the one under it most time. Like you know what I mean? And that's and so I love him the most, but I butt heads with them the most because it seems like I don't know, bro. Why are you even gonna argue with me if I'm asking you for some boom down, man? Like I got the piece in my hand, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or yeah, man. I just I've had a lot of with the phone, man, bro.
Hell yeah. No, I
I
100%
love my
get you,
phone, man.
bro.
I love my phone, man. No, hey, you know what? And I'll tell you this. Um, I heard them say something. They call it Bellman?
Yeah, a Bellman, yep.
Yeah, Bellman, bro. Like I had
You know
like
where
I
that you know
first
where
heard
that
it up
came
here, and that
from?
shit threw me off. I was like, what the? I was like, oh, he's over there belling. I'm like, hold on, what are you saying, man? I'm
Yeah.
like, you talking about the phone, man?
Yeah, because back in the day when they were running derricks, man, they would have to use bells. You know what I mean? He would have to
Yeah,
bell. That's how they would give their signals with the bells. So
I
that's where
just
it came from, the bellman.
I know I barely caught up
Yeah,
with that
yeah.
recently. I was watching the video and they were talking about, you know, saying bells and stuff, and it all clicked. But yeah, I don't know. This ironworker lingo is not like you gotta actually travel to really, understand why certain things are said in these areas.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
like, yeah, in Seattle, they call, we call them cowboys here, snap clamps here in local 29. They're called
Cowboys.
oddballs in Seattle. They're called like
Yeah.
banjo clamps in East or over on the East Coast, or you know what I mean, like banjo clamps or some shit. There's a lot of weird names for those things.
For the Cowboys, yeah. We call
Yeah,
them
we call them cowboys.
Cowboys. They're
Yeah, dude.
but they're made what's the actual name? They're
They're snap clamps or
snap clamps, yeah.
vice clamps,
Vice grips.
vice
They are.
grips.
They're vice
Yeah,
grips. That's
yeah,
that's the main brand that makes them. Yeah, the
yeah.
vice grips.
So,
Yeah, they got
like when you got to LA, Justin, can you like you were hanging iron, man? What was the best job when you're working? Like, what's the best hanging iron job that you did down in LA?
cool. All right. And then, so this is the good part, man. I think the best job or my favorite.
Well, let's
Yeah, we
do
got we
the
got we
best
got
job and then
different
your favorite.
descriptions. We got
Yeah.
different descriptions. It might have been so hold on, give me one sec. Let me think. So yeah, bro, I actually hung a lot of iron right there. Like I bounced around a lot.
Did you work on
I think
any
the
story
best
jobs?
job. What's that?
Any story jobs?
Story. Only no, not in like downtown. I think the highest job I did was like a 5 story.
Okay.
That was Cal Poly Pomona. No, the Cal Poly the Pasadena. Cal Poly Pasadena. Or no, is it? No, it's Caltech. That's what it is. Caltech. Um, that was like a 5 story. That was like probably the biggest job as an apprentice. But the best job that I did was the Oculus. It was the Ram Stadium. It was the crown
Uh,
jewel. It was the crown jewel of the job, bro. I got to hang that. The only apprentice in the gang. You know what I mean? Like, bro, that was tight, man. Like, I
was it
learned so
caddy
much.
iron?
What was it?
Was it like real caddy? You had to do caddy shit. Is that like why you like?
Nah,
Oh, okay.
nah. So basically, you know what I'm saying? It's the physical structure that holds the TV that goes around the whole field. And
Okay.
so it got sent out like in pre-built, I don't know, I was just say boxes, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And we had to, and they're like 2 stories, you know what I mean? Like they what they did was we've had to put crane mats down and then build it on the crane mats. So it was just like 2 story frames, and but they're already like put together and taken apart. And so getting these 4 points to match up, and I'm talking about these huge bowls, bro. Like no place to put it. Like, oh yeah, it was nuts, bro. We'd have like 3 come-alongs going this way, and then one pulling
Yeah.
down and twisting this, pulling the 2 frames in. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those that I got to like. It was a lot of those like, you ain't gonna make it fit. Oh, I
Yeah.
bet you I will. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of that going on,
Oh yeah.
and,
That's
and it
why
was
we
super
call us
cool.
iron workers, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. So after seeing holes be made on that job, I'm like, bro, there's any hole that can be made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how much work you got to put into it. But you can make this point. Like
Oh yeah. If
that
there's a
was
will,
cool.
there's a way, right?
Yeah. So that was Herrick, bro. That was the company Herrick. Um,
What's it like to work for Herrick?
Oh, that bro, they is tooled up. They
Yeah.
is tooled up. Yeah, I worked from the most rattiest outfits, bro, to Herrick, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's the gauge right there.
Yeah.
It's most rattiest Herrick. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah, Herrick's
But
like the American Bridge of the East or the West Coast, man. Like they're the go-to guys. Well, at least I always heard that back in like the early like 60s, 70s. Herrick did a lot of work on the West Coast.
yeah, that's the big name that I heard. You know, what I'm saying in the last couple of years coming up, it was
Yeah.
always oh yeah, Herrick, Shuff. You know what I mean? That was a big hitter. I know that Danny's is coming up big right now.
Yep.
Um, you know, SME has always been in the
Yep.
mix, but uh, yeah, like I came up here and I didn't know what type of companies I see when I came up into the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. So
But
when did you what made you decide to boom out, Justin? Like I think we talked about you had family up here or something, but is that the reason why you came up here? I think there was quite a bit of work in Seattle though, right? When you came up, obviously.
yeah, yeah, when I came up, man, worker, there was open calls sitting on the board right here in local 86, and but it was right in the middle of COVID-19, like the heat of it, where you had to be vaccinated to get on to certain jobs, and like you couldn't even do nothing without a vaccination. But I came up here as I came up to Washington when when my sister had a birthday because she shares the same. She's a twin to my brother who passed away, and so I figured out it was gonna be their first birthday since my brother passed, and I was like, you know what, I want to make sure my sister's cool. I just journeyed out, so I was like, that's what I was gonna do, and just on the visit here, man, I was like, let me hit up their hall, and that's how it kind of just formulated, like in reality, that's exactly how it happened. I just I was like, what y'all making? Like I think it was like 47 or something at that time when
Yeah.
they were making a couple dollars on the check more than 433. So I
Yeah.
was all like, what? Like, I'm gonna go take this pay grade real quick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got nothing to lose. Like, let's
No,
go. I'm a
yeah.
journeyman now. That's how it all happened.
So like what was your first call out of 86?
Uh, I know I got these twists and turns, bro. Like, so, anyways, I come up here to 86, and I'm on I'm on the B list or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, and I find out that my welding certs are no good, man. You know what I mean? The AWS they don't really mess with it up in this local in
Yep.
Washington, I guess for that matter. They have Weibo, and so
Yep.
I didn't have Weibo certs, and so now I'm up here. You know what I'm saying? I could weld or I could hang or I could bolt up, whatever it is. You know what I mean? I haven't decked, and I don't got no decking tools, and I don't think I had my rebar tools at the time. Um, but I know I could weld, right? And so I'm like, all right, well, let me get my Weibo certs. And bro, it was like, I ain't gonna lie, man. I had a big old like button heads with some of the management up here, some of the local 86, because I was trying to get my Weibo certs. And I'm like I said, I'm this over aggressive iron worker that's single with no kids at the time. And like I'll just go get the certs, you know what I mean? Like that's how I felt. And so I called up local 14 because I couldn't 86 was acting crazy with their welding booths where you couldn't get in like how easy it should have been. It wasn't. And so I called up local 14 and I'm like, hey, you guys certified Weibo? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, I'm a journeyman on 433. I'm gonna come through. I need to test. And they were like, yeah, come through. They're like, you looking for work? And and I was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm looking for work too. And they're like, well, if you already got AWS, you can go to Moses Lakes. And I was all like, they're all like, we got Faust out there. And so that was my very first Washington call was local 14, bro, stepping in, the savior boy, you know what I mean? Was on some like, oh, you a welder? Like, well, instead of you coming over here and get Weibo search so you can go to work. Now all I wanted to do was go to work. And they're
Yep.
all like, well, this job will take your AWS. And so I was like, oh yeah. So I got a dispatch just like that, bro, over the phone. You know what I'm saying? Paid my Adobe's. I stayed in Moses Lakes for like a week, bro, because this was coming up right into December and it was about to be their first snow. And
Yeah.
I exercised my right to drag up, bro, when I got out of there. Oh, I know why. I know why I drug up. I know why I drug up now. It's because of this, bro. I know it's about to snow. and I'm checking the 86 hall. I'm checking their work orders every day, right? And in
Yeah.
the morning you can see it. So I see um there's a connecting call, a phone man call. Like there's a grip of calls on the board from Evergreen. And so that morning, bro, like before I even like go to work with Faust, I remember looking on the board, seeing a connecting call, and I called the business agent that I knew in '86, and I was like, "Hey, man," I was all like, "This is my chance," you know what I'm saying? I can hang, bro. And so I take this. I tell the business agent, I'm like, "Hey, man, if I can make it down to the hall, you know, I'm like 3 hours away over here in Moses Lakes, but I was like, but I can make it down there if I drag up right now. I can make it down there before dispatch is over." And it's like, if I could do that, will you give me the call? He's like, yeah. I was all like, because they just want to fill the call, and
Yeah.
it was for Evergreen. So
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if we can give you a good someone that you're asking for, like that's how I felt. The business agent looked at it, and so I made it down, drug up on Faust, left local 14, came out here to took a connecting call for Evergreen, and that was my first time like working in local 86 was taking that. But I didn't even connect, bro. I phoned. Like,
Really?
yeah, that so I take this call, I take the connecting call, right? And I'm hyped, bro. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yeah, like fresh journeyman, bro, just ready to go, like show out. And I get to the job, and there's there's two dudes that I was actually working with in Moses Lakes. They're from Local 14. They came together as a pair, bro. So those are two connecting partners. So I was like, yeah, man, handle that. Like y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all go hang since y'all got, you know, y'all been working together and stuff. Like, and but I took the connecting call, so they had to ask me, you know what I mean? I was like, well, you took the connecting call, so you know, are you on the phone? And I was like, yeah, I phone. That's cool. And it gave me a good chance to recognize that I don't want nothing to do with the rain. Like that's
Yeah.
what it get. Like, you know what I mean? Thank God that happened, bro. Because
Yeah.
like I think I was so gun ho, and we're probably like was slipped up because that first job in the rain and the cold was just unbelievably, hands were numb. It was like, okay, I'm gonna have to make some adjustments here. Like I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm not hanging iron.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I mean, like that's if I've traveled for work and shit, man, I've gotten shit. I've gotten people giving me shit because they're calling us fucking rats because we work in the rain. And I'm like, hey, motherfucker, I won't be able to pay my bills if I can't work in the rain. So fuck you, dude. And so like
Yeah,
it becomes this argument about saying like you're a rat because you work in the rain. Well, you're a bitch because you don't work in the rain. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean, that's what we do here in the Northwest, man. We do everything in the rain, the snow, whatever it is. So,
I seen it, bro. You know what? It's y'all, y'all are better for working in the rain. It's not safer. I've had more like close calls
yeah,
here than anywhere else. But I tell you this though, when I go back into a dry situation, I'm on like another level now, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? Once you're like used to working in the rain and you're used to like, okay, my alertness and my sure footing and like how I go about everything in the rain is dry on steroids. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So once you're back on dry and you can let that guard down, it's like you ain't got to think like no
yep.
more.
Hell yeah, no shit, bro. And that ain't no joke, man. You know what I mean? Walking on deck with your Irish setters for the first time, man. Fucking that it'll trip your ass up if you ain't used to it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's I'm very prideful that I'm out of local 29 in the Northwest, man, because I think we have a hell of a lot of great iron workers here in the Northwest. So, yeah, man. So with that being said, Justin, kind of like you took that phone call. When did you find yourself actually? Did you make it through that job and then you took a connected call on that next one? Or how did that work out? Because I know
Nah, man.
you ended up working for Apex.
All right, so all right, all right. Let me grab my coffee right here off
Yeah,
camera.
get you some, bro.
I need to get my mouth a little moist.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're a little parched, huh?
Little parched, man. Over here, I got my. This is my brother's cup, man. This Notre Dame thing. Drinking
Notre
coffee, bro,
Dame,
right now,
bro.
bro. I'm on a different schedule. I'm on a like baby schedule.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I was napping. I was like,
Well,
let me
hell
get
yeah,
this
bro.
in real quick.
Yeah, no, man. Being a dad, man, that's a job in itself, bro.
Oh yeah, it's been cool. Um, okay, so yeah, so Evergreen. All right, so I'm just gonna give you the spill, bro, and you can edit, cut, whatever you need to do.
Yep.
Um, so I come up here to Local 86, and I'm working for Evergreen, and what's it called? I just remember they like. As a matter of fact, yeah, I don't think we should get into that.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
that 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 part gets that part gets involved with me smoking before work. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
and that yeah, that's I mean I would love to tell you though like
We'll
off
do that
rip.
off camera because this is gonna go to
Yeah.
YouTube too, bro. The whole thing's going to YouTube.
Okay, so yeah, I could just dive into how I get going with Apex, and I was welding and get
Yeah.
called to hang iron. Um, so what's it called? So I get with Apex. I'm welding on the eighth. It's that's the job. It's the eighth in downtown Bellevue, and I took a welding call, right, production welding call, and I'm cool with not hanging iron or anything at all. Like that's my mindset. I'm like, cool. I'll just weld because I know how to set up my umbrella, do everything I need to do. But this was I would say it was fairly dry. You know what I mean? Like we're getting a lot of nice dry stretches. That's what time of the year it was. And there's this man I met named Joe Boyer, and oh man, this guy, he's a stud, bro. Like
Well, yeah, he
he's the
is.
raising game foreman. Do you know Joe?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you know
Yeah.
Joe, bro. So I mean, I'm gonna tell you like Joe, bro. That's so I'm gonna tell you this. Um, I'm down at the safety meeting one morning and I get approached by Joe and he's like, hey brother. And I knew that he was the gang foreman, but I didn't, you know what I mean? Like he's approaching me and he goes, hey brother, I heard that you could connect, do you want to come hang iron? And that was at the safety meeting right in the morning. And like in my head, I had my headphones ready, bro, to get thrown in. I'm production welder, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was on some level, like we chilling. And what's it called out? But I just said, yeah, man. I was like, I had an itch for it, bro. And I was like, yeah, I'll go hang. You know what I mean? And let me grab my stuff. And
Yeah, yeah.
next you know, bro, I'm sitting there hanging for Joe Boyer, man, and I'm having the time of my life, bro. Like I, yeah. I mean, first thing we had to go do was, or the first thing I had to do was climb this three-story column, bro, that has 4-inch, 5-inch flanges. Couldn't even grip it. Like I had like there was a test, bro. The whole gang they wanted to see how I responded when they said, "Hey, all right, go cut it loose," because we had to go climb up there and cut it loose. It wasn't no like
You didn't have a
no
lift.
there was no hickey big enough, bro. There was
Yeah.
no like we had no safety
You had to
devices
choke
that
it,
we could.
huh?
Yeah, just to hook it, bro. These are like 40,000 columns, bro.
Yeah.
40,000, and the tower cranes like they had to do tandem tower picks, bro, on some of these columns. Like that's how big they are.
Damn.
And so like when I first had to go up there and climb the column to get loose, I remember Joe and some of the other people in the gang, they was wondering how I was gonna respond to the climb. And I'm a climber, boy. Let's get it.
Yeah.
I took the gloves off, bro. I just, we had the ring finger, bro, and thumb, like barely any grip, but getting up there and it was
Would you
dope,
knee
bro.
did you knee it up, Justin? Did you knee up? Did,
Nah, so
did you or were
on
you
some
able
of
to get
those,
your lock in?
yeah, no, I on most I lock in. Like if I'm
Cool.
at work, bro, I if I can lock in, I lock in. I
Yeah.
will knee up if I have to, but that's like last resort. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I don't want to get hurt. You know what I mean? Like I trust my climbing absolutely, but I just like when it comes to when you got all these tools and like yeah, I just
Yeah.
I'd rather like I don't like race at work or nothing, but I climb strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't slip. That's the thing. People don't think that I'm like Spider-Man climbing up this thing, bro. I see a lot of people and I think it's just more dangerous. Like, so you see people like even at work, like, I don't know, they be slipping, bro. I be seeing people like take 2 grabs and so like let's take another grab and they're still
Yep.
going down. And I just don't want that to happen. So I climb strong, man. whatever's gonna get me up there.
Hell yeah, bro. So with I've never worked for Apex, man. I've always heard awesome things about him. The owner, he's a CrossFit champion and just a physically fit dude, iron worker, just a badass, man. I've never been able to
Yeah.
meet him yet, but what's it like being around him and, being a part of the Apex family?
Oh yeah. All right. So Apex is probably that's definitely my favorite company up here right now. Yeah, bro. I got to hang a couple jobs for them, and be around Kevin. It's a whole feeling. You know the feeling when like the owner comes up on the job site, and they always tell it, but hey, the owner's coming, and saying
Yeah,
have shit tightened up. You know what I mean, all that. But like with him, it's that same feeling, but times 10 because what I'm saying, he's like super jacked, and
yep,
he has this level of like seriousness that's just it's an aura around him, but it's also it's almost like a facade, man, because he's the most human person, bro. Like when you get a chance to talk to him, like it was a great experience to see, like, it is what you say it is, bro. Like that family, you know what I mean? That
yep.
Apex family. Even the GFs and the supers that I've worked with and like spoken to, they say high. They give them high praises, bro. Apex got a lot of high praises in regards to how they treat their employees, and I bro, they're always tooled up. You know what I mean? They always made it happen, man. Like shit,
Yeah.
I don't think that I could say nothing bad about Apex, bro.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Isn't that where you were? Didn't you hang iron with James on that job? I forgot his
oh
last. Uh,
no, I didn't. No, I never got to hang with James. Um, I was hanging with Yamada,
okay,
Adam.
Yamada. That's what you told. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I was hanging with Yamada. Best partner I've ever had, man. I mean, I love. Who would argue with me, bro? Like this dude is a beast mode, bro. Like just full
yeah,
on beast mode. I Yeah, I have never had so much fun on the job as that, bro. As with
yeah.
Yamada and Joe and Bobby, and there's just Levi, Miami. There's so many cool cats, man, that was on that job that made. Oh yeah, that's forever great stories.
Oh, yeah. How long were you on that job, Justin? That the eights or whatever,
I think about 5 6 months.
five
About
six
five six
months.
months. I start when I started hanging. I think we were on level 9, and then I hung all the way to like I want to say 20 something, or maybe yeah. I think
Yeah.
I was there for
What
about
did
like
it
five
top?
months.
Did it top out at 27, Justin, with the penthouse or something?
Yeah, I wasn't there for the top out.
Yeah.
I lie. I actually was there. I was on the shirt, bro. The Apex shirt.
Really?
If you ever see the eighth, the topping out T-shirt, you'll see me climbing up the BRB. Like it was a different procedure on how they put the BRBs in. But
Yeah.
that picture, that's me. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't got one of those shirts, man. I'm so sick. I need one of those.
Oh, yeah. So we're kind of getting around that 45-minute mark here, Justin. But I want to get into the social media stuff, brother, because that's
Yeah,
man, that's how I obviously became familiar with you, man. Being on Facebook and shit, dude. Just some of the stuff that you're putting out, man. Just watching you connect and then watching you weld and then getting your drone out, man. Um, how did you find yourself being interested in doing that stuff? I mean, everybody's got their phone, but you're at a different level than most of us, right? You're doing
yeah.
shit like not like everybody else. So how did you find an interest in that?
Uh, you know what? It first all started by like, just wanting to share pictures and videos with my dad. You know what I mean? Because we never got to work together. So just and that's how it initially started. But man, I started doing more cool and cooler things, man. Like it's like I was
Yeah.
just saying like, man, I never thought I'd be right here. Like in a million years, I never thought I'd be on some high building looking down and just leaving my print on this world. And so I started just taking more and more videos, and I've always kind of been into the like I've always been very social and open with what I got going on in my life. You know, that's always been there. And so when I was able to mix, you know, the videos that I'm getting from Ironwork and put it in with a message, you know what I mean, something positive, or saying something encouraging to go along with it. Like, I was like, this is cool. You know what I mean? I was doing it out of pure passion. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
just this is a whole different outlook that no one's gonna be able to get. And
Yep.
oh yeah, I think a little bit too is I think I was just showing off, bro. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie. You know what
I
I
mean,
mean? So
that's what we
so
do though.
some of
We're
that
fucking
some
iron workers, bro. You
some
know
of
what
it
we
showing
do?
off. I mean, I know that took I took the steps in the game, bro, a lot earlier than most people do. Saying I was hanging iron that first period, and in a brand new, in the biggest local, bro, in local 433. You know what I mean? When a lot of people had never got the chance to, and so I count myself blessed for that. But I was showing off a little bit, man, and but once I realized that there was actually consequences to my choices and what I was doing and what I was posting, I I I kind of came under the idea of like, maybe I should just use this and to promote the good stuff. You know what I mean? Use the social media, the attention I was getting for the videos, just use that to promote, you know, the good things, the
Yeah.
things that are worthy of being promoted. Like I definitely took a turn, man, for how I was posted.
No, no, that last one, I think you posted it the other day, but you used a lot of different like masking and overlays and stuff, man. I really enjoyed that reel you made. It kind of like showed your a bunch of jobs on it, and then yeah, I just liked how you had that overlay, and then you like your background was moving on that mask, man. It was I totally dig that stuff, man. I enjoy doing that stuff on the weekends myself. That's like a little hobby of mine, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I really enjoy your stuff, man, and I think you're doing good, and I think you need to do more of it, man, because as you can see, man, we struggle in the construction world. Not everybody, even to this day, knows what an iron worker is or what a construction worker does, man. So what you do is promoting that, and it's getting out where these kids can see this stuff, man. They can go do that, right?
Yeah, no, that's huge. Yeah, you know what? It's all those little editing tricks and stuff that you were just mentioning right now. Those are man, those are all trial and errors, bro.
Yeah,
That's what amazes me most is that like it didn't just start like that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
even like as an iron worker, like with whatever accomplishments that I've achieved, I sit here and think like, man, that's why I'm like, but I just keep getting better, man. Like that's the thing
yep,
is I thought I had it in my hands. I thought I grasped what there was to grasp, but nah, I mean, the more deeper you get into it, you start learning more stuff and that's what that yeah I don't know. I'm hoping that I want to be like the ironworker photographer or
yeah,
videographer. I want to really like dive into that even more and take video footage and pictures of all the ironworkers, bro, doing like dope stuff, man. Like if I could mix those two facets of life, bro, and get paid like how I want to get paid, man, that's gonna be the next big thing, bro. And sharing the trade. Oh, it's in the works. That's for
oh
sure.
yeah. And then like level up, Justin. That's your brand, right? I mean, like, what's like, where did that come from, and or what made you decide to go that route?
Uh, so I mean, I don't know all the terms and everything that comes to this, man. But level up is just something that I've been really pushing hard out there, and that's keep getting better. You know what I mean? Level up, and I think the biggest misunderstood like concept that comes with leveling up is that it's gonna get easier, and it's not. That's what
Yep,
it's not gonna do. It ain't
yep,
gonna get easier. It's just gonna get more rewarding. You know what I
yep,
mean? But it doesn't get easier. I think people get that mixed up with something else. You know what I'm saying? But as you level up, as you get better, as you get deeper, as you get like more entrenched in what you're doing, it's gonna also become more a part of you, and uh, and then you're gonna start seeing things that you didn't see when you first started. You're gonna, life has an amazing way of just mixing you up in such a way that you could you can manifest anything. You know what I mean? Anything that you really put some time and effort into, I don't know. It's just crazy. I call it. I also say riding the wave, bro.
Yeah,
Like riding the wave of the
yeah,
things that are going on with life
yeah,
because it's pulling up on you, bro. Was kind of like what? Like the timing, like, and you say,
yeah.
"Damn, I'm even gonna be here." Like,
Hell yeah. No, I mean, like you said, bro, like once you climb one mountain, there's always another mountain to climb, right? So that's how I look at life, right? It's just that you're always trying to get better, like leveling up, man. And so, no, I'm so grateful that you came in the hall, a couple weeks ago, man, because like I said, you're somebody that people watch and they look at. So like, why not talk to you and see what's behind it, right? I guess that's a lot of point. That's the whole point of doing a lot of this is like, what why are you doing what you're doing, man? Because you're doing good stuff, and people should know why you're doing that.
well, if you were to question me like that on like why am I doing it, man? Um, I'll just tell you this, man, is that at the end of the day, I just really want to be a blessing. You know what I mean? I just really want to be a part of someone else's story in the light that they could say, thank God I met Justin. You know what I mean? Or thank God that Justin came to work for us, or or we teamed up with him, or something. Like I just want to whatever area in someone's life that I could like just play a part where they could be thankful for. That's what I want to do, and I don't know what it is. Like I do a lot of different things. I do tats. I do, music, videos, pictures. I do so many things, but everything, the ironwork, like even ironwork, bro, it's all geared at just being a blessing. You know what I mean? And that's what I do it for, bro. It's just so that someone like I get a lot of retirees that see my videos and they're like, man, you brought me back into the moment, you know what I mean, of like a good place in my heart and my mind. And you know what I mean, if that could be a blessing for them, man. And touching on things that are in regards to the trade, the contracts, the politics, things like bro, I'm trying to. I understand that I got a voice, and so I'm trying to really utilize it to be a blessing, bro, and not hate on nobody. Just try to be a blessing. Because if people could pick up and learn from you, if you could be a blessing to them, man, then it's just love for you, bro. It's just love, and I just try to share the love.
Amen, brother. Amen, man. No, I'm 100% agree with everything you just said there, Justin, man. And that's what I try to do myself, man. And just make the world better, leave the world in a better place than what I found it. So, but with that being said, Justin, we're kind of at that hour mark, brother. So, like, I want to leave the podcast with the message from you, man. So, kind of what I usually ask everybody is like, what would you tell somebody who's thinking about getting an ironworker or wants to become an ironworker? What would you tell them, or what would you tell them to look out for?
Whew, man, someone barely getting in. Um, I'll definitely say, you know, know know the contract. You know what I mean? Know your books. You know what I'm saying? Know like get a real grasp on what is coming to you and what's expected of you. You know what I mean? Like, and one advice that's going to be helpful is just be as physically fit as you can, and whatever you can muster. If you can muster some workouts, if you could get your push-ups in, whatever physical fitness you got, a higher level of physical fitness you got in this trade, you're gonna be better off. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna help you big time.
Oh,
um
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's I don't want to miss out on that. That's a real good one, man. Someone coming in the train, tie off, man. You got to tie off. That's what
Yeah.
it comes down to, is tie off.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, bro. I mean, safety is I mean, you want to go home to your family, man. At least I do. I always did. I'm not saying I was Mr. Perfect by any means, but I always had that in the back of my mind that I definitely wanted to obviously go home at the end of the day. So that's one way to get there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
with that being said, Justin, man, I appreciate your time, brother. I would love to have you on again, man. Just kind of check in with you,
yeah.
see how you're doing, and um, hopefully, everything's gonna happen. You're gonna be blessed with everything you want, bro. So So
Yes, sir. Yes,
hell
sir.
yeah,
Let's
bro.
get it.
Well, until next time, brother. Next time, brother and sisters, be safe.
Be safe, baby. Let's get it.